Hello, welcome to Ephemera Files by Tommy. And today's garden tour is a hot mess because we have had construction going on, and we still have construction going on, and we have the aftermath of construction going on. So today's going to be just a quick tour. We had a frost last night. It is the third or fourth frost that we've had. So a lot of my plants are just ready to go to sleep and hibernate for the winter or to be put into the compost bin. So let's get going. Starting here at the front porch, I've got my coleus that's really leggy and a little bit sad, and the impatiens is pretty well gone. And so I will be just taking this pot out. I may take some cuttings on that coleus, I don't know. This is the pot that was in the water, near the waterfall at one end of the pond, which is no longer a pond. And here is what it looks like. I am making a video of the building of the pond. It's going slowly, but it is going. Here in this bed, I've got things that are still looking good. The guacamole hosta looks really good, but the tortilla chip by the turquoise pot and the World Cup are starting to yellow, and the guacamole on the other side of the blue pot is as well. I have that fern there that in the turquoise pot that I need to put into the ground. I have my peacock lily, peacock lily. That's this one right here. I think I may just leave that in the pot for the winter and then transplant it in the spring. This is just a florist mum. It looks really pretty, but it will not survive the winter. That pot is still looking really good. The frost has not affected anything that's in it thus far. It's just a mess up here. This is a planter from a fundraiser that I bought that has a heuchera in it and a creeping jenny that I will probably save and replant, along with a little rudbeckia there. And this celosia, I love the color on that celosia, so I'm gonna take it out and save it for seeds. That is a florist mum that's in it, so it will not survive the winter. My clematis over here actually has yet another bloom on it. Our weather here has been so crazy that the plants are so confused. There's that other guacamole hosta. It's looking good, starting to turn a little yellow. This bird bath is going to go inside for the winter because it is glass and I don't want it to break. Along with the tube in my rain gauge, which I lose so many of those. I have a lot of empty rain gauges because I forget to take the tube out and then they freeze in the winter. So I'm going to remember to do that this time. These irises are finally going to get dug out because they are under the sidewalk, but now I can get to them from one side. Another look at how the pond is going. My elephant ears are sad. I need to dig them up this week, which we're going to have temperatures in the high 50s, low 60s, and no rain, so that should be perfect putting the plants to bed, whatever you want to say. These rocks, all of these rocks, probably 8 tons of rocks, were all in my pond. How in the world did all those rocks fit in that pond? I do not know. They will not all be going back in. They will be dispersed, many of them around the yard, to be put into beds and such. I'm probably going to sell a bunch of them because you can get $300 for a ton of rocks, and I have like 8 tons of rocks, and I'm not going to use all the rocks. There is the old skimmer that really did not work well. I probably should take my little fish in too. I'm not sure if I need to on that. I'll probably do it just to be careful. Right here I have a little I added a little clematis, however you want to say it. That's a little mermaid. I did pull a whole bunch. That rock wasn't there. Those big rocks were not there on top of my blue rug junipers, but the junipers will survive. Those rocks will get moved and they'll survive. But I did pull a whole bunch of the Goldilocks creeping Jenny, and a lot of the juniper was, well, I mean, it was brown underneath of it. So I need to keep a better control over that creeping Jenny. I like the way it looks, but it was taking over. And look, my white feather hosta right there, I pulled the creeping Jenny from around it and it started growing. So yeah, creeping Jenny was taking off. Things are getting sleepy and tired and probably just getting ready for winter and a rest. I think on my, I keep saying I need to trim this hairy beast, my black lace elderberry. I think I'm gonna wait until the leaves are off so that I can check for branches that are damaged or crossing or whatever and get a good shape on it that way. All my little plants are doing well. They're doing well. Another bird bath I need to take care of. My little bitty mini hostas, miniature hostas here are doing really well. I love the color on this fern. It's a royal fern and I love the way it turns when it starts getting fall season. You can see things are just getting ready to be trimmed back, cut back. I think maybe this particular sedum I need to take inside. And nope, that's not a sedum. Yes, it is a sedum. I don't know, I can't remember what it is. I did get 2 more of the tater tot arborvitaes right there. I still need to dig out the rocks in this end of the bed so that I can plant things in some dirt because those rocks are just way too deep. My Diamond Lake hosta here, the new leaves are coming in white. They've been doing that for a couple weeks. I don't know if it's the cold weather or what. But look at the crispy edges on that wee hosta, both of them. The color on this hosta is gorgeous. This is one that I don't think I've ever figured out what it is. I never got any flowers on this azalea, but I thought it was dead, so having leaves is a good thing. I have another azalea over here, and it's got leaves, but it's barely hanging on, barely hanging on. Oh, and I did plant another clematis right there. I'll have to get a tag for it because I can't remember the name of it. I've got its plant tag inside. Going to sleep and going to sleep. Got a lot of cleanup to do. But everything's looking good. I took my caladiums in. I do believe I'm going to move that Empress Woo. These coleus are done. They're done. Let's see, I need to take the top of my bird bath inside. I can leave the other part out, although I probably won't. I made that bird bath from a big platter and a lamp. And I'll probably take both parts in because I need to figure out how to adhere the top of the bird bath to that because it just basically kind of sits on there right now. They just came yesterday and finished cleaning up around the pergola building parts, so I can actually get these honeyberries back into the ground. Look, I still have flowers on my anemones. How funny. But the anemones, I like these. I think that in a vase with some mums maybe, that I love those seed heads. I think they look so cool. They're very architectural. All right, so we've got plain old beds here. Again, because we just had all that construction going on, so they're a hot mess. And this whole bed is still pretty much empty. I think this may be where a lot of my vegetables will go next year though, because vegetables can be very pretty. Here we've got the Japanese maple. I've got a hanging basket on it still that I need to take in. Let's head on back this way. Fire pit, I have a lot of brush that I need to take care of in it. This pussy willow is going to get moved into a pot, and I'm going to put a tree. I got 3 free trees. That's kind of a tongue twister. At an event, and they are Drake lace bark elms. And so I'm gonna put one of them right there where that pussy willow is. The yarrow is blooming and falling over. The Bristol white mums are turning purple, and I'm going to get in the sun for a second, or in the shadow. I think those are so pretty though. So pretty. And I love the color on this river birch. The grama grass will stay up all winter. It is called Blonde Ambition. I think it'll be really pretty with the snow. I do still have some irises blooming. I did not expect blooms on them so late. And then this mealy cup sage that I just love. I will be planting more of it. More of the mums over there by the grass. Over here by our stone installation, which isn't done. It's not done. It's not going to look like this. I have elephant ears that need to come in because, like I said, the frost bit them. And I've got lilies that I need to actually put into the ground, and right now is a great time to do that because they're not trying to put effort into their leaves. They're just trying to get their roots going. Got a new tree, and I can't think of what it is. It is a green giant arborvitae. So we're gonna have a little tree line here. And then we come over here. And with the time of the year and the way that the heat was and everything, I don't know how the lilacs are gonna do. Those are Miss Kim lilacs. We'll find out. These are what I'm calling my girlfriend lilies because I had a friend who gave me a bunch of lily bulbs, but she didn't know what they were. And so they are just in there. They're under the baskets right now to protect them so they don't get stepped on, and so I remember where they are next spring. And I have some other lilies, and I have forgotten what they are. They're miniatures. They're mini lilies, and I can't remember. I did some pruning on the gold mophead cypress. And I think I did pruning on the button bush since the last time I took you on a tour. The purple smoke tree is looking really good. Let me back up just a bit. And my shadow's in there. It's looking really good. Over here by my T-Rex head, this is funny. All those rocks that came out of the pond and all the rocks that they dug up when they were doing the pergola, I found a baby T-Rex skull to go with the big T-Rex skull. And then I have planted beside it, let's see, Jurassic Park irises and a T-Rex sedum. So that's gonna be really cute. See, there's the pergola. That's gonna be a great place to just sit and relax. Let's see, over here, there was a whole lot of digging. I think I had a plant that got buried, but I can't remember. We'll find out. The hardy hibiscus, one plant is still kind of pretty. It's big and green, different colors and everything. And then the other one is kind of like, oh, what happened? I don't know. The goras are blooming still, the floating butterflies. My liatris that my friend Hong gave me back there by the pot here is growing and not getting eaten. Those in the black pot are the 3 Drake lacebark elms, bunch of miscellaneous lilies in that pot that I need to pull out. Here are some hollies that I need to get planted, but I was waiting for the construction to get done. The gomphrena, I saved a whole bunch of seed heads from the gomphrena. That clematis keeps throwing out a bloom every once in a while. I don't think it's got any on it right now. I am going to dig up those 3 really bright sedums because they are not hardy, they are annuals. Oh, that's a surprise. I did plant a bunch of bulbs, didn't necessarily get them marked. And look, I've got one coming up. Huh, okay. Well now, I put in these steps to make it easier to get to the controls for the hot tub and to get over to my rain barrel and just make life easier. I've got my banana plant covered up already for the winter. I lost a couple of the bitter roots, the Louisia down here, but not all of them. So I'm hoping next year they'll be all right. I've still got things like the things in that concrete pot. It's a hosta and some callas and a fern that I need to transplant, along with these echinaceas that are in this pot. I still haven't taken a cutting off of my window box, the mizus that are in the window box. They're very pink, but I think that they're still alive, so I think maybe I could still get some and maybe try to overwinter them because I really do like them. More things I need to get into the ground. The geum is in the pot. I've got various lilies in those pots and in that pot. I have, I think that's Monarda trying to come up right there. So I may put that over into the ground as well. Over here I got a trellis that I hope that the trumpet vine will work better on because it wasn't working on just the string. And then I did dig up one of the hardy hibiscus to give to my sister. That's a cherry chocolate latte. And then I planted some of the girlfriend bulbs right down there. Maybe next year we'll get the fence built around the pool equipment. I don't know, maybe. My Funiella clematis put on a burst of growth over the past week and a half, going up that trellis. Let's see, rose campion. I planted 3. I'm not sure that middle one is going to survive, but the other 2 look good. It could just be that it was ready to go to sleep. The butterfly echinacea there getting ready to bloom. I don't know if it'll get a bloom before it gets cold or not. What is this? I think it's a gold cone. It's a gold cone juniper because I was hoping to get some green over here for winter. Here's our fish. This is their home away from home until the pond gets finished. Can't see them because of the bubbler. My, oh, this is adorable. My Ryan's rainbow mums are finally blooming, and you can't see them because of all the fish stuff. But there's some yellow. I see some purple. Looks like there's a pink, maybe. The thing with that is I didn't know what colors I was getting. They were just random. And I really think that they're pretty. I think that everything in this pot is an annual, so it'll all be going away. Those are annuals in the back pot. This is my soft serve Chamaecyparis in the front pot. I got another bloom on the Echinacea that's going by. I did get my red bud trimmed up. And look, I have daisies. All right, so let's head down the driveway. This is like the least busy part of the house right here, is this little strip of lawn going down the side of the drive. And everything here is getting ready to go to bed too. The starlit chrysanthemum, the galaxy snowberry, random stick with some interesting moss on it, and then that art piece right there that'll stay all winter. And then across the driveway and hiding behind this pile of concrete block is my mailbox plant. And I think I like the color on my sedum here. I think that's really, really pretty. I like that. All right, so there is my hot mess November porch to post. Thank you for joining me today, and as always, be kind. Bye.